All right. Well, welcome to the third installment of the office hours. As usual, we have James and Kuba with us to talk a little bit about what's happening on the OpenTofu side. And so to kick things off, as usual, Kuba, why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened the last 2 weeks?
Sure, let me screen share. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. So, in the last 2 weeks, during the first week, there was still the time period when we were working on RFCs, on designs. Multiple designs and RFCs for the stable registry have been submitted. We're very grateful for all the contributions here. The registry designs, just to quickly recap, OpenTofu needs to have its own provider and module registry. We had an alpha registry for the alpha release, but now we're designing the stable registry and we'll also be implementing the stable registry. There were 2 weeks for RFCs. Then in last week, we basically had the technical steering committee meet. They voted on the designs and unanimously picked the homebrew-like design, which has been picked for design and implementation. In practice, that means that the core team is now writing a few more detailed designs. All of them is actually moving to this area. All of them are available in the issue tracker. You can see all the more detailed designs in the issue tracker. They generally cover smaller parts of the functionality, like submitting new providers, refreshing provider versions, rendering that to the static file storage, etc. Other than that, we also have some bug fixes, especially bugs that have been uncovered in Terraform that are also in the OpenTofu that we are also fixing on our side.
Do you mind also talking a little bit, just describing really quickly what it means for it to be what the homebrew like design means?
Yes, of course. So the homebrew-like design, and you can find it here. Basically, the idea behind the registry design here is that all providers, modules, and the versions will be stored as JSON files in a repository, in a GitHub repository, so that everything basically is very transparent. All the data is in GitHub. The refreshing process will be handled via recurring GitHub actions. And external contributions and new provider module GPG key submissions will be handled via pull requests. And then that will be rendered into the format that is proper for the actual provider registry protocol on the module registry protocol, and will be hosted as static file storage. So that's basically the homebrew-like design. Good
Cool.
question. Other than that, we were also, it's now official that there will be an OpenTofu Day happening in KubeCon Europe, which is
awesome.
KubeCon is happening now in Chicago, I know. So it's not that KubeCon, it's the KubeCon that will be happening in spring in Paris. There will be
It's it's the better KubeCon, the one in the one in a beautiful city. Well, actually, Chicago is nice too. So,
all right. Other than that, another big announcement that we've also had in the weekly update, we had 2 engineers join the core team. One of them is Dimitri, who's with us here. Another is Christian Mesh, who didn't join today, and they've joined to work on OpenTofu full time. We're very happy to have them on board, and this will help us basically deliver the stable release and all the features and enhancements afterwards. And that's basically the summary of the last 2 weeks, really. Now we're working on the stable registry primarily and on some bug fixes to make sure that the stable release experience actually is stable and production ready and that you can feel safe using it. Oh, and actually one more thing regarding timeline for the stable release. This is something a lot of people are probably interested in. Regarding timeline, the optimistic ETA is for the stable release to be available in December. While a slightly less optimistic ETA is that we'll have a release candidate in December and then a stable release in January after various vacations and stuff like that. In practice, this will mostly depend on how much time it will take us to implement the both write up the designs for the stable registry and implement it. So we'll see about that. The timeline will obviously be more specific once we're near the end of November. But the plan is to still have a beta release once the stable registry is working, then a release candidate once we feel like everything is almost ready to release, but we just want to make sure that will be a release candidate release, and a week after we'll do a stable release. Back to you, Sebastian.
Thank you. All right, well, piggybacking off of what you talked a little bit about earlier, so there's an OpenTofu track at the next Kubecon in Paris. We are opening up the program chairs have been selected. We're opening up an RFP for I guess I don't know what the acronym is, but request for talks. And so if anybody is interested in submitting a community talk or talk about their experience using the alpha or by then experience using OpenTofu, we're looking for folks that just want to share their experience. And yeah, there you go, request for proposals. That's right. We're looking for folks that have good stories to tell, or that have lessons that they've learned the hard way, that they'd like to distill their learnings and share that with the community. Any other kinds of talks that we're looking for? I think those are the main ones, right? Experience with OpenTofu, and then or I guess from developers, we'd also like to have ones that are more technical on how to contribute and stuff. But otherwise, like just all the details are online. And if you have some ideas for a good talk, please do share them with us, and then we'll review all of them and build out the OpenTofu track at KubeCon with community talks. It's gonna be fun. I will be there, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a who's who of the OpenTofu community, and it's gonna be great. Yeah. Do we have any? All right, so let's move on to the Q&A. If anybody has some questions to ask. If not, I can probably see the question.
Not actually a question, just like thank you guys for everything that you are doing. A lot of really nice communication, especially thank you for you, Kuba. I was following your write-ups regarding registry. Really easy to follow, clear, and everything is the only piece of feedback that I can give you. That like I'm actually among those people who like actually really interested about how things are going with like stable release. So far, like as far as I remember, in the release calendar says December 11th. So like it's really nice to hear that like like there is like realistic and like optimistic timelines. So like if it can be like somewhere like more public without like going through videos, it probably will help not only me but like other people as well. Like as like yeah, that's actually like really interesting stuff to know. And like once again, thank you so much for all the work and the really clear communication.
And thank you for all the praise. Yeah, this is why we do stuff like that. The community has been awesome and continues to be awesome. Thank you. So maybe we can elaborate a little bit on that then. What do we think are the main factors that will influence the GA release date between the optimistic and pessimistic dates?
It's really only the stable release implementation. In practice, we need to make sure that it's stable enough that once people start. So the thing about the stable releases is that it's very hard to gauge how much traffic we'll get. So we'll kind of have to be ready for anything, where the maximum is, in a sense, the current traffic of the Terraform registry, while the minimum is our alpha registry, which was already getting some notable traffic occasionally even. So that means we have to have a design that we can very easily and quickly scale to whatever scale basically that we need. Implementing that will take us a few weeks. In practice, it's not rocket science. Fortunately, the design and the registry is very static. So you can host this in straightforward ways like, S3, CDNs, GitHub pages. The exact details of that are still to be decided. We have reached to a few of those services to basically discuss how best to approach this design to make sure that, we're using services of those people the right way around, in a way that is also cost effective for the OpenTofu community, etc. In practice, we already have a working POC of this, a fully working POC that is working with GitHub pages. So we do know that the end-to-end workflow will work. We have already proven this. Arul has done that as part of his RFC. So really right now, this is making it, well, in a proper way, and designing also workflows like, GPG key submission and verification of the submitter, the workflow of automatically merging maybe submissions of new modules or providers, maybe not automatically, generally such topics. Maybe James, you want to expand on that?
I don't want to get into too many technical details, but what I can say is that because we have gone through the alpha registry already, and we've gone through this quite very, very long RFC process where we've all gone in quite a lot of details, we don't have many unknowns. And so we're just in the implementing phase right now, really. We've got a few designs that are coming out. We're going to stabilize some of those things where we're really nitpicking on the tiny parts, like just little things of what folder structure do we want and things like this. But we have a lot of the code there from our alpha registry already that's doing things like scraping and handling versions. And we have a great understanding on the team from the alpha registry of what we need to be doing. This is our registry v2 in a sense. So I don't think we're too worried about an unknown hitting us and we have to add another 2 weeks of development. This is just a doing game now. So that's my opinion on it anyway.
And Dmitry, thanks for sending me the link. I'm broadcasting it now. So for anybody who's interested in submitting talks or getting any additional information on the OpenTofu track at Kubecon, here's the link. This video will be posted online, so we'll probably also add this link to the comments for you to click. That's it. Any other questions? Anything else? If not, and then we're done. All right, Kuba, James, Alexei, Dmitry, thanks a lot for the participation and for
Christian.
And Christian.
Yeah, I didn't see you down there. And Christian. And looking forward to seeing you guys at the very next one.
Everyone, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.